Hi everybody, it's Laura from Sewing Up Style, and I am outside because it is so beautiful today. Today we're going to talk about Discovering Denim. It's the last video of the year and it's our last collaboration with Denim of the year, but we've got another collaboration starting next year, Cars. And so I will talk about that a little bit at the end of the video because I really wanted to share it with you. So I asked Grace and Shalisa and Asid if we could go ahead and just kind of bring it up so that you can kind of get an idea about where we're headed. Today's Discovering Denim is Denim DUOS, and so what I chose to do to meet that theme was that I chose to use this shirt that I had made previously, I think this summer, and then add to it, to add to the collection. And so I made a skirt. It is Budrick 6326. I made view B. And it kind of goes along with the plans for next year. But I'll get to that at the end. I'll tie this all together. So hopefully you'll watch till the very end. Let's talk first though about the pattern. It's an easy pattern. Totally beginner friendly. There is a zipper in the back, but they give really good instructions on how to do it. I overthought it because I do that, but it really ended up being extremely easy. You have 6 pieces. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, 6 pieces is all that there is with this pattern. Because there's 2 front pieces, there's 2 side pieces, and then in the back there's 2 back pieces and then 2 back side pieces. It sews up very quickly. You can adjust it easily because you've got all those seams. So if you need to let it out, you can let it out. If you need to take it in, you can just sew a little bit further than the 5/8 inch seams. That is an interesting and funny story, is that I cannot get used to the idea that I am not as large as I used to be. So when I started sewing, I was like, this should just fit. And so based off of the waist size. And so, which by the way, I made I made a 16 because that's the smallest in the package. That's what I have. And it should have just fit if I would have made it as they suggested, with the 5/8 inch seams and all of that. But I had a moment of body dysmorphia, and I was like, no, that's not going to fit. So, or it'll be too tight, and then I won't have something to show for this video because I was working on this like Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. Anyway, so my whole point is that I ended up adding. I just added, instead of sewing 5/8 inch seams, I sewed 1/2 inch seams. And that added a good inch probably to the whole thing. So when I tried it on, it was really, really big, like really big. So I probably needed a size 14 to start with, but at least a 14, because I took out probably 2 to 3 inches of fabric. So about an inch, inch and a half on each side. And I just sewed down the side seams, and I just kept moving them in and moving the seam in until it actually fit. Then I used my Fiskars and just trimmed it off. I used like medium weight denim. It's a stretch denim that I got from Fabric Mart. I don't know, do you want to see the denim up close? I'll show you the denim up close, because I'll show you also the waist while I'm up here. So the waist is high waist, and then it's got the kind of goes in and then it curves back out around your hips, and you can see it's a mid-weight denim. let me get myself back together here. The denim it's a nice quality denim that I got from Fabric Mart. So what you do is you put the zipper in the back, and then you just have facing pieces for the waistband. You just sew that on. So, and then you have a hook and so you sew that on. But it's about a 4-inch waistband, so it just holds it in. I tacked the waistband down on each of the seams around, so it's tacked down about 6 times, and then you just sew down the edge next to the zipper, and then you put a hook and eye. I did not put a hook and okay, I ran out of space so I had to delete some things, and now I'm going to have to talk fast. Anyway, I was talking, I think, about the hook and eye on the back. My zipper ended up being right at the top of the waistband, so I did not put a hook and eye on. It closes just fine. It stays up there, so everything is good there. As always, I forgot to do the reveal, so here is the reveal. So that kind of brings me to dovetailing everything together. So I made this shirt earlier in the year, and I don't know if I'd started live streaming. I don't know if I started live streaming or not, but I made this shirt when I was kind of in the process of figuring lots of things out. I made this shirt earlier in the year, and now it's at the end of the year, and I'm looking forward to the next year, seeing where we're going to be going, seeing where I'm going to be going. It's really hard to tie this all together. When I started my live stream, I was taking a risk. I had been, I don't know, processing a lot of things with my son going to school, my eldest, and just kind of things in my life in general. And so I started the live stream because I wanted to have fun, and that's kind of led to where we're going to be going with Discovering Denim, it's going to not be Discovering Denim this time. The collaboration between Grace and Shalisa and Osset and I. We talked about a couple of months ago, maybe even just last month, but in my live stream, I've talked about, I did a lot of personal growth over on the live stream. So anyway, I talked about not being afraid, like trying to step out of my comfort zone. And that's partially what the live stream was about, was just doing things that give me joy and not worrying about the outcome and not worrying about, is it going to be successful or not? Just creating for the pure act of creating and enjoying the process, and not being afraid of I don't know, being vulnerable and expressing yourself, and just doing all those things. And so we were talking about that one Sunday, because we meet on Sundays at about 12 o'clock Eastern Standard, 11 o'clock my time, Central Standard. But anyway, so we were talking about that, and Grace comes, and so I was like, maybe that should be our theme for next year. And Grace liked the idea too, and so we brought it up, Grace and I, to Shalisa and Osset, and everybody thought that would be a really good thing. Like, it's a fun theme for our next collaboration. And so I don't have any more, information, because we haven't really set up like when we're going to do it, or the themes within the theme, or anything like that. But I wanted to, it's called So Fearless. We're going to be so fearless. And so it's SEW, fearless. And for me though, that's not just with my sewing, it's not just taking risks in my sewing, but it's taking risks just in my life. And so you might see some videos like the reaction videos that I just released over the last 2 weeks, where I'm stepping outside of my comfort zone, and it may or may not be sewing related, but it's going to be joy related, and it's going to be about being fearless and about like living my best life. And if you don't want to see them, you don't have to watch them, but I hope you'll stick around for the sewing parts, because those are going to be fun too. There's a man coming. So there might be some interesting choices that I'm just going to do because I want to do them. I think that just the process will bring me joy. I will explain how this dovetails into being so fearless, but it also is SO fearless. I'm living my best life this next year, and I'm going to enjoy just existing and creating, and I hope that you will come along with me, maybe get some inspiration with what I do and how I experiment with my life. And you know, you might see me do some things that you're like, why would anybody want to do that? But you never know until you try something out, you know. Next up in my So Fearless, besides the things that we're going to be sewing, is going to be, I'm going to be doing a dance challenge on YouTube. So it's not, you'll just see. Anyway, so I hope you come along for the ride. I hope that maybe Grace, Osset, Shalisa, and I can inspire you to be fearless in your sewing or in your life, or just wherever maybe you need a little courage, a little oomph, you know, just to be able to find the joy in life and in sewing, and, you know, creating and taking risks, and just being seen, you know, being vulnerable, just all those things that make life worth living. So that is why this dovetails with this skirt, because I made this at a time where I wasn't taking risks. I started taking risks because that's why I put the snakes on. But as this year has progressed, I've been doing more and more, and I've been feeling more and more excited about life, and more and more myself. I don't know if you guys can hear the train. The train's back. Anyway, so I was wondering, have you taken any risks this year? Have you found yourself doing things that maybe you wouldn't normally have felt comfortable doing, but you just threw caution to the wind and said, I'm just going to do it. I'm going to see what happens. Or is there something that you would like to do differently or new in 2025? Is there something you'd like to sew that you maybe haven't sewn before? Or I don't know, just let me know. What are some things that you dare to dream and that you maybe would like to have come into fruition in 2025? So that's that. I highly recommend this pattern, whether you are a beginner sewist or a not beginner sewist. It came together so easily, and it is such a nice pattern. I did kind of take some of the fullness out of the hips because it was really bulky. There's a car. Oh, it's a semi. It's a cattle truck, actually. No cattle in it, thank God. So anyway, so I smoothed it a little bit. You might consider that. But yeah, all went together very well. I really liked it. I really like this shirt. It also went together very well. And so I guess that is all I have for you today. So thank you for watching this video. Thank you for subscribing. If you have, thanks for joining me. There's another train. Anyway, you guys have a good week, and I will see you in the new year. Bye.